Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to go through my Hut Wishlist for NHL 22. Obviously, most of my content is geared toward Hockey Ultimate Team, so I'm really going to focus on that. I'll also release a video a bit later on that is going to cover more broader things, whether it be ESHL or maybe, offline stuff, gameplay things, all of that. Today we are going to talk specifically about the game mode in Hockey Ultimate Team. The other thing that I want to mention is this is part one of this video. Part two, I want to go through your comments because as a game changer, one of my responsibilities is to take the feedback from my community and relay that to the developers and, help implement change in the game for the better. So make sure you leave a comment down below for the next video and I'll go through as many as I can, a lot like Who Should You Choose, and we'll cover as many as we can get to. All right, guys, so let's get into the top 5 things that I want to see implemented in NHL 22. All right, so let's talk about the overall, weekly gameplay cycle of Hockey Ultimate Team, and that's really just Rivals. If you are an online player, there is literally just 2 modes that you can play. It's Hut Rivals, and then on the weekend, it's Hut Champions. Now, obviously, when Hut Rivals was implemented, I was super excited about it because it looked like a very well-rewarded version of what online seasons used to be, and it hard matches you against your skill level. But what that's ended up doing is the rewards have been kind of bland, and it really just rewards whoever plays the most, which is a brutal way to do it because, again, the guys that can play, 50 hours a week, they're always going to get the best rewards in Rivals, and the guys that can't, well, they're going to get bronze and silver. So that's always going to be an issue. But the biggest issue that I have with Rivals is that the games don't mean anything. Yes, obviously you're trying to play your games to get your weekly rewards. So the more you play, obviously the higher reward tier you're going to hit. But the games themselves don't really matter. Because if you're not, if you don't win, you still get Rivals points. So the number 5 thing that I want to see implemented is a leaderboard in Hut Rivals. I was stunned that it was not in there in NHL 21, and there's really no excuse for it not to be in NHL 22. And what I mean by a leaderboard is that is going to allow you to see who you played recently, your last 20 games, a lot like what Hut Champs has, and then an overall leaderboard, which Online Seasons has had for years. Because what that's going to mean is that every time that you win more, you've got that record to flex. You're going to be able to see how you've done recently, and it just adds a lot more emphasis to each game. Again, if you're going to beat someone that's really high ranked, all you're going to do is get a bunch of points to improve your skill leveling. But once you get to Div 1, there's really nothing to it. It's literally just playing enough games to hit the weekly reward. So if there was a leaderboard, that just adds something else to grind towards. I'm someone who did not like Hut until basically I started making content in NHL 17. All I did was grind the versus leaderboards, and there was nothing to versus. There's no reward that you get. Like, you don't grind to make a better team, any of that. All it is your leaderboard flex, and I just think that that is one of the easiest things to implement that sorely is missed in Rivals. All right, number 4 is Rivals seasons going to 2 weeks and guaranteed exclusive choice packs for a certain range. So this is a lot, but I'm going to tie it all into number 1, or into one thing, okay? So the reason why I think Rival season should be 2 weeks long is because, again, if there's 50 game limit, all right, there is just not enough time for the people that just play, that you've got a 9-to-5 job, you got maybe 1 to 2 hours a night that you can play. There's just no way for the normal person to be able to play this game a lot, and that means that your rewards are just going to be brutal. The next part about this is that even if you play an absolute ton, let's say I get Div 1 Ultimate, all I'm getting is an Ultimate pack, Jumbo Elite Players pack, and an Elite pack. Obviously, though, that's a lot of cards and a lot of opportunity to get a really, really good pull. But it isn't guaranteed. The biggest issue with NHL 21's reward system is that unless you were among the top 20 in the world each week, you are not guaranteed a single pull. And yes, you can technically take all the gold cards that you get and throw them into gold collectibles, but it's nowhere near enough when the gold collectible cost for a master set item is 20. Like, that will take weeks of playing very well, getting high rewards, and not pulling anything to actually get. So what we need, in my opinion, change it to 2 weeks. Match it with the event that is out. So let's say right now with the playoff event, that's kind of a bad example. But let's say the NHL Moments event, okay, that was just out. Now imagine this: you have 2 weeks. The rival season lasts 2 weeks, okay. anyone that gets Platinum, Diamond, or Ultimate is guaranteed a choice pack of limited exclusive cards to that event. What that's going to do is make the event a little bit more exciting. It gives you something to chase, makes every game matter that much more because you've only got 50. Now, 50 over 1 week is a ton. 50 over 2, a lot more achievable. And again, wins will matter much more if you've got a lot more time to play, because the better players will get to play a little bit more. Obviously, that'll make it a little bit more difficult, and it just makes rivals have some meaning to it. Now, a guaranteed choice pack, what that's going to allow, I'm not saying anything crazy, so let's use the Lit versus Grit event at the beginning of the year, okay? So the Master Icons were 89 and 90 overall. The choice packs could be 86 to 87 or maybe just 87 overalls, okay? But they're going to be something that is usable, and it's going to be a player from each position. So that means that your Hut team is not going to be stuck based on just one certain player, and you're not going to see the same guy on every single team because there isn't actually, a bunch of choices that you can make. I think that's going to make rivals a lot better, the reward system much better. Guaranteed rewards is what we need in this game, and it'll make the events a little bit more exciting as opposed to what we have now where it's basically just like grind a lot of offline challenges. And I'm not going to lie, offline NHL is just not fun. If you look at MLB, offline challenge, a little bit more exciting or at least somewhat entertaining, where it's like hit a home run with this specific player, okay, quick, done, bang, that's it. A little bit better than just, hey, I need you to take 20 shots on goal against this random CHL team in 3-minute period. Like, it's just monotonous, and this rival season method would just be a lot more effective and tick off a lot of boxes that we're missing in NHL 21. All right, now let's talk about Hut Champs. All right, so the one thing that I think a lot of people will complain about in Hut Champs is the reward system. So currently, unless you place in the top 20, you're not guaranteed a card at all. And as you go through, even inside the top 20, that card gets worse and worse. All right, so what we need, I think, is some more guaranteed rewards, or at least interesting packs that would allow more players outside of the top 20 to compete and get something out of it. Because again, like I said, if you don't place inside the top, what's the ultimate pack? The top 500 in Hut Champs, it's not worth your time. Simply put, it is not worth the few packs that you get if you cannot play. If you play 20 games and maybe you go 10 and 10, and that's still fine. You're working out, you're trying to get a little bit better at the game. All great. But if you don't get inside top 500, that was a waste of 20 games on your weekend because the rewards just don't match. So a recommendation that I would have in terms of rewards would be add a Team of the Week pack into the game. Now, obviously, the higher ranked you go, maybe you get more than one, maybe you get 2 or 3 or 4. And what that'll do is make Team of the Week much more exciting, because right now it's just whatever. There's really nothing to it that other than just, okay, here are the cards that you can, that you get. And it's just whatever. Basically, all you're looking for is if your Team of the Year or Team of the Season player gets upgraded, right? All these guys, whenever you pull a Team of the Week or a primetime player, you're basically just like, oh man, I just got 150,000 coins if you pull one of the higher end cards. That's really it, because there isn't really all that much that's exciting to them other than just, hey, here's more content. So I think that allowing you to get a pack that maybe, hey, you get a choice pack. You'll get 5 things. You can choose 1. So you're not guaranteed to get these overpowered cards, but maybe you end up getting a Kyle Connor at the beginning, and that just, again, makes it more rewarding in hockey, Ultimate Team, and makes Team of the Week more rewarding, because I think that is a big issue too. Team of the Week just has no feel to it. I'm not all that amped for it, other than the fact that, hey, okay, maybe I get, my upgrade to Team of the Year or Team of the Season. The next thing about Hut Champs I want to discuss is having a ratings limit. So in MLB, if you go into one of what's called an event, there is an overall limit for your team that you have to hit before you can get into it. What that means is, so like, say your overall team can't be more than a 90. Okay, so you can have 99 overalls on your team, but then the rest of your roster is going to be really lagging behind. So why I think this is important is, A, it allows people that, can't spend thousands on the game or have a million hours to play to have a little bit more of an opportunity. But it still allows the guys that grind the game out a ton to have the best cards to make that best team possible. I really think this would help and implement it and make things a lot more closer than what you see now, where you get these overpowered teams, and 2 months into the year, you're just kind of discouraged to try because there's really no point. I think a rating limit would go a long way. And then obviously win-based rewards. So instead of top 20 getting rewards, 18 wins, regardless of your rank, should be what is the catalyst for guaranteed rewards. So if you've got two guys here right now, it's Brandon Lemieux and Montour, so all the way down to 18 wins, which might be in the 60s or even 70s, they would get a a Montour and a Lemieux, just at a lower rank, but still a guaranteed reward for hitting 18 overall. It's brutal with the new server selection, because the West, there just isn't as many good players on the West or in Europe, so you're seeing a lot more of top players that get a great run of 20-0, because they're not playing the same depth of competition as someone in Quebec or on the East, or that's someone that pings East or Central in North America. So I think that would really go a long way in Hockey Ultimate Team. Before we get into number 2 and number 1, I want to give a shout out to the sponsor of today's video, Gamer Advantage. I have been using their eyewear for the last month or two, and I cannot stress how much it has done to my vision, and just the fact of it eliminates headaches, guys. If you stare in front of a monitor or you're a streamer, I have an intense light setup on me all the time. It has done wonders for just the removing of headaches and the ability to actually sleep a lot better. I use the Inferno frames. If you guys are looking, they also do prescription as well. So if you have a prescription, you just send that to them and they can give you a pair of blue light glasses for your prescription. But guys, if you use my code NOSLEEVES, you will save 15% off your order. And again, I can't stress, if you are someone that stares at a monitor all day, you need to get a pair of blue light glasses. It will change your life. All right, guys, let's get back to the video. All right, guys, for these last two, I'm going to use MLB The Show's Diamond Dynasty, as, you know, just to explain it for anyone that doesn't know. Number 2 is adding a Battle Royale mode. Now, Battle Royale is essentially draft champs, and it has tiered rewards depending on how far you get. Okay, so basically what you do is you draft a team. All right, you draft a team out, and it's all around the same ratings. You'll get a couple diamond players, none that you own, just they'll be whatever. They could be legends. It could be the Mario Lemieux and Gretzky, for example. Some people might not get them, but regardless, it goes all the way down to like bronze level players. Okay, so you have a really balanced lineup. And the objective, you see it right here, is to get 12 wins before you lose twice, and you get an extra insane reward if you can go 12-0 with no losses, okay? So you can go 12-1 and have one loss and be fine. But look at the rewards you're getting. 6 wins will get you an 80 over 5 player. 9 wins will get you a diamond player. That is basically a purple level pull. And then 12 wins would get you the equivalent of like Guy Lafleur at launch, or, you know, someone of that level. And then 12-0 flawless would be the same level as Mario Lemieux and Gretzky. Now, these guaranteed rewards are insane, but what it is it's just a super engaging mode, because every game matters so much. And the one thing they do in this is they make the games a little bit shorter. So instead of playing 9 innings, you play 3. So you could do the same thing in NHL. It could only be 1 or 2 periods, or just play 3 and have it only go to 9 wins, and you're just scaling a little bit differently. And as you go through, you start matching guys. So if you get 9 wins, you're matching people that have 9 wins, 10 wins. It keeps it very close. Such an incredible mode, and something I really want to see in NHL 22. We had draft champs. The rewards were garbage. The way it was run, just not very enticing to players. This is the way to do it, and MLB's, you know, kind of diamond of mode, essentially, is a perfect example of what I'd love to see. All right, and then lastly, this is something that shouldn't just be in NHL 22. It should be in every single Ultimate Team mode for the rest of Ultimate Team mode existence. And that is parallels. Call it whatever you want. I don't know why MLB called it parallels, to be honest, but here is how it works if you are not someone that has played MLB. We are going to take, all right, Steve Finley, for example. He's got great stats already, but you notice on the card art, the numeral 2, and then you see a little number beside it. Because I have hit the second parallel of this card, all of his attributes go up by +2. Now, how do you parallel the card? By playing with them. Yes, by excelling with whatever card you're using, you will increase their overall and abilities. That is unbelievable, because, guys, if you say you don't have a stacked team, but you really like a certain player, you can go out and make them and give them a +5 to all of their attributes. So we'll use, I'll take this as my example. I was the 67th person out of 160 to have this Albert Pujols, this specific Albert Pujols card, super fractured and get it to level 5 parallel. All of his attributes are +5, so he's the best version of his card. But also, the numbers beside it, I was the 67th person in the world out of 160 currently that have this card at level 5 parallel. I think that's also another awesome thing to chase, because you want to be number 1 with a certain card, you got to grind with them. And again, you'll see here how you earn the parallel XP. So a plate appearance will get you 10 XP, 5 for a single, 10 for a double, 20 for a triple, 20 for a home run, and it all just adds up. And then you see at the end, you have got to get 10,000 XP. It's a grind to get level 5 parallel. The reason why I think this is so important is take a look at how prime times are operating, just the content in general. Yes, there's a few top-end cards that everyone gets excited about, but we really just have so much content that is just being out there for the sake of content. So I'll use myself as an example. I'm a diehard Sharks fan, okay? Let's say in November, or let's say even at launch of the game, an 81 Kevin LeBanc comes out as a primetime. He had a great game, whatever, he gets his +1 bonus, all right? His primetime. I want to use that Kevin LeBanc in my team, but I play online. I don't just play squad battles. I am putting myself at a significant disadvantage to use a player that I want. Now, I want to use this Kevin LeBanc. Let's say I put him in my lineup and I score a ton of goals with him. I put him on my first line. He's racking up assists, getting games played, and he improves his overall. Now he's more usable. It is unbelievable to me that it took this long, but MLB's new parallel system is industry changing. I'm talking 2K, like NBA 2K, Madden, FIFA, NHL. If they don't adapt this year, huge miss to their player base, because this is, like I said, the best addition to any Ultimate Team mode in years, and I really hope we see it in NHL 22, or, if it's not 22, at least 23, because this is, it's incredible and just really fun. It adds a ton of depth to the game. All right, guys, so that is going to do it for my top 5 things I would love to see added in terms of Hockey Ultimate Team. I didn't touch on gameplay or anything like that. I'll do that in a future video, but next video, I want to hear what your recommendations and what you'd love to see added into Hockey Ultimate Team. Again, we'll do videos that talk about, other things like GM Connected, stuff like that. We'll add that in a little bit later on in another video, just for Hut, what you'd love to see. And let me know if my ideas are good, because again, I'm not going to recommend them if you guys are all just like, yo, those are trash ideas. Let me know, and I'd love to relay that information to the developers. All right, guys, thank you for watching. Please subscribe to the channel for daily NHL and MLB content. I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.